Hi, welcome back to Stagehand Learning. This is Personal Rigging Equipment Part 1. This module will cover some of my favorite pieces of personal fall protection and prevention, as well as safety standards and resources. I also would like to point out that I am not sponsored by any company or brand and that no one has paid for the making of these modules. Specifically, we'll look at safety standards, the difference between fall protection and fall prevention, harnesses, lanyards, ropes, helmets, and other resources. Feel free to pause the video at any point and read all the information or look at the diagrams. Because safety should always be first, let's start with safety standards. Standards are how we ensure that the equipment we use all meets the same requirements for strength and quality. When purchasing equipment, it is important to ensure that it meets these standards. Also listed here are some websites which can be a great resource to dive deeper into safety. Fall protection is just what it sounds like. It protects you in the event of a fall. You are still going to hurt like hell, but at least you won't be unalive, as long as you're rescued quickly. In addition to the items you wear, this includes SRLs or fall arresters. These are primarily used when ascending or descending ladders or truss. If you slip, they'll catch you after about a foot. As long as they're hung in the right spot, you can also get back onto whatever you were climbing. This also includes horizontal lifelines. These allow you to traverse freely, but if you fall, they also have an energy absorber built in. Fall prevention, however, keeps you from falling. Most commonly, this is the handrail. But if that's not in place, then we use fall restraints to keep us from the edge. These are static and do not have any energy absorbers. A good harness is the heart of your rigging equipment. You cannot work at heights without a harness, so it might as well be a good one, with padding. The one shown here is a Petzl Aveo Bod International. The major difference on the international version is the fall indicator sewn in. Technically, the only attachment point you have to have is a dorsal D-ring on the back at the top between your shoulder blades. But for our industry, it's nice to have the side rings for positioning and the tool loops. Listed are just some of the brands that have been around and are commonly used, but there are many others out there. Just make sure the harness meets the ANSI Z359 standard and was manufactured in the last few years. An unused harness in storage only has a 10-year shelf life. And it's crucial to make sure that the harness fits you properly, or it will hurt you more than save you. If possible, get your first harness somewhere where you can try them on and have a salesperson help fit you and show you the right way to adjust it. If that's not doable, have a competent rigger friend help you the first few times. A fall arrest lanyard has an energy absorber or an expansion pack built in, either one per leg or a central pack like on these Y lanyards. In the event of a fall, the pack will rip open on impact and give 6 more feet of deceleration so that your body doesn't take the full impact. When using a Y lanyard with one energy pack, both legs need to be clipped off to the anchor. We use Y lanyards when moving around on beams or truss because it's critical to maintain 100% clip off. You are more likely to fall transitioning around or over something than you are just traversing, generally. Single leg lanyards are primarily for use only in a lift. When picking a lanyard, I personally always go for something with elastic in the legs just to help keep them up out of my way. But with or without elastic is a personal preference. But again, look for that ANSI Z359 rating. Like fall arrest lanyards, fall restraint lanyards and work positioners do not have an energy pack. If you take a fall on one of these, it will hurt more. These types of lanyards are intended to keep you from falling or to hold you in place. Work positioners are great for building scaffolding, but know how your gear works. Most positioners need constant tension or they will release. You still should have an energy absorbing lanyard for moving around between positions. A single leg lanyard is fine for use in a lift because they also have guardrails to prevent a fall, and you're usually not getting in and out of them in the air. The most important thing about choosing a rope is the way it is constructed. You want to make sure it is a low stretch or static, meaning no stretch, rope, preferably with a double braid. But the rope diameter is completely based on the comfort of the user. The most common diameter is 5/8 or 16 mil, but I also know a lot of riggers that prefer a 10 mil rope. You can use any color you want as long as it's the right rope. Having a unique color or pattern makes it easy for your ground rigger to find you in the sea of ropes. And to know what length you need, just add 10 feet to the beam height of the venue. You can usually ask another rigger, or some venues even have their tech pack information online. Personally, for the venues that I work in, I have a 25, a 50, 80, and a 110. Having a little extra length is okay, but you never want to be too short, and having too much can be a problem as well. A lot of venues and companies require hard hats, and if you have unknown people working above you, you should wear one anyways. While the basic white construction hard hat will work, a good climbing helmet is generally more suited for our industry. But again, just make sure whatever you pick meets the ANSI Z89 standard. The minimum requirement is a Type 1 Class C. The 5 books cited are really great with tons of valuable information, but there are a lot of other ones out there. If you ever want to do anything more than monkey pull rope, monkey get banana, read any reputable book on rigging. Take a class. Invest in your mind as well as your body and your gear. These are some links for more information or to purchase gear. Unfortunately, my favorite company, Patroller Supply, went out of business, but there are tons of good suppliers out there, so just ask your fellow locals where they get their gear from. All work done at heights and lifting over people's heads should be performed by a competent and qualified professional. Thank y'all again for watching. Hope you learned something new. Remember to hit that like and subscribe.